Hello everybody, and welcome back, or welcome just if you are joining me for the very first time. We are looking at our 2017 Grade 8 Gauss paper, and we are up to question number 20. So hopefully it should be a good question. We're nearing the end of the paper. We're almost at part C. What have we got here? In the 6-digit number 1A, B, C, D, E, each letter represents a digit. Alright. Given that 1 A, B, C, D, E times 3 is A, B, C, D, E, and then the 1 is at the end now, so now it's the units digit rather than the hundred thousands digit, the value of A plus B plus C plus D plus E is. Okay. So, we don't know much about the number. We know it starts with a 1, and then if I multiply it by 3, I get the same letters in the same order, but now the 1 is at the end. Okay. So there's definitely one way to go about doing this, or sort of one obvious way to go about doing this question. You don't want to start at this end and try and start figuring out A, because you might say something like 3 times 1 is equal to A. So A must be 3. Right? But what if we multiply 3 by A and it turns out we carry something over, and that we actually have to do 3 times 1 plus 1, and A is really 4 or something like that. Okay? That's entirely possible. We don't want to fall for something like that. On the other hand, there's nothing to carry over when you start in the units digit. How do we multiply by hand normally? You always start on the right-hand side. So we can see something like, well, 3E ends in a 1, right? Maybe we carry some stuff up here, maybe we don't, but I definitely know 3E ends in a 1. And we're going to be multiplying by 3 a lot, so we might want to write sort of a little chart down here. We'll take our digits, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we'll actually multiply them out. Okay, that way we can save a little bit of time, but we can also see what has what possible ending digits. And 3 is kind of nice when it comes to digits, because 3 and 10 are relatively prime. What does that mean? Well, for our purposes, there's only going to be one answer when you ask, what digit do I multiply 3 by to get a units digit of X, or 10, or something like that. Well, not 10. 10's not a digit, like 7 or something like that. 27, there we go. So, for example, if I ask, okay, 3E ends in a 1, only one of these ends in a 1, so E is 7. So now, instead of this E and this E here, we can put in 7. So 3 times 7 is 1, and we carry a 2. 3 times D plus 2 ends in a 7. Isn't equal to 7 necessarily, but ends in a 7. Okay, so it equals something, ends in a 7. So if I subtract 2 from both sides, 3D ends in a 5. Well, again, thanks to the nice properties of 10 and 3, only one of these ends in a 5, so D has got to be 5, and we can just slowly work this out. So we get a 5 here, and therefore a 5 here, and each column starts the bottom, gives us the bottom or the result for the next column. So we carried the 2 up here, and 3 times 5 plus 2 is 17, so we carry a 1. 3 times C plus 1 ends in a 5. Well, then 3C ends in a 4. Which of these ends in a 4? 3 times 8, so C is 8. So 3 times 8 plus 1, 25, carry a 2. Okay, 3 times B plus 2 equals an 8. And you can find that B will be equal to 2. Subtract both sides. 3B has to end in a 6. Only one of these 3 times somethings ends in a 6. And then finally, so 3 times, so we carry nothing, so now it's 3A. Sorry, this should be equals blank 8. So 3A ends in a 2. Okay, only one of these ends in a 2, and that's 4, so 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 3 is 12, so we would carry a 1, and 3 times 1 plus 1 is indeed 4, so everything worked out. We didn't have to do that last column, but we wanted to make sure. And so what do we want to know in the question? We want to know what is the sum of the digits. So 4 plus 2 plus 8 plus 5 plus 7. We didn't want to include that one. It was just A plus B plus C plus D plus E. That's a 10. That's a 12. So together those are 22 plus another 4, 26. All right. So, yeah, 26, and that is B. So we will finish off part B with an answer of B, and that's kind of poetic. All right, let's clear the page and get ready for question number 21. That'll be the very first question in part C. So feel free to take a look at those questions, and I will see you for them in the next video.